Don't make decisions from the energy of your current self. Make the decisions from the energy of a person you want to become. Welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Sylvia Salow and I help lightworkers and starseeds to remember who they are. And in this video, I want to talk about choices and decisions. Making decisions is an art. It's not always so simple, because every choice, every decision is an expression of who we are and of whom we are becoming. And so every moment we are choosing again and again and again. We have the ability to literally shift our reality. Decisions is one of the most potent tools for quantum shifting our lives. When we make decisions, we can completely rewrite the script of our lives. I'm sure that some of you have experienced powerful decisions which resulted in a completely different trajectory of your life in a very limited, condensed period of time. You have quantum shifted your reality because as you were making the decision asks you to become a higher version of yourself. So every decision is like a choice of either staying in our current energy or going backwards into the past self or moving forward into that future self. So with every choice, we are standing at a crossroad and choosing which way we go. Also, when we cannot make the decision, when we feel being overwhelmed, it's not clear, we haven't yet reached that clarity of the heart and the mind and their alignment, then it's the same like standing at a crossroad and having many different timelines open at once, and every timeline is representing where that potential decision would lead. And sometimes when we are not able to decide, it's actually leaking our energy, it's draining our energy. And so making a decision is better than not making any, but also not making decision is a decision. But it's a decision of not moving forward in life. It's a decision of staying where we are. And sometimes it can be okay for a period of time, but sometimes it can limit us. And so when we are making decisions, we have to remember that we are always asking ourselves, who am I becoming in this moment? Who am I becoming by making this choice? And so it is truly like a crossroad every time we make a decision. Now I want to give you a simple question you can ask yourself when making decisions. And the question is, what would my higher self choose? What would the person you want to become choose in this situation? When you ask yourself in this way, you are allowing yourself to expand. You are allowing yourself to step from some cycle of energy and go into that next level. Because when we are choosing things in our lives from that bigger perspective, not from the perspective of the past or even the current time, we are able to make decisions that are better for us, even though we may not exactly see where it will all lead to. Because when you ask yourself, what would a higher self do? Or what would the person I want to become choose in this moment? Then you are sensing and unlocking those new timelines. You start energetically bringing them into your present moment and thus collapsing the time. And yes, sometimes it's good to integrate energy, to take time off and maybe have a conscious choice of not making new choices for some period of time. But remember, when we are integrating energy and when we are taking time off from that expansion, it has to serve a purpose. It shouldn't be a stagnation. So when we are integrating some energy and it seems like we are not really moving forward as much, it's okay as long as we are still learning something from that integration. But in that moment when a situation has taught us all it could, then there's no point in staying in that situation. And so when you ask yourself, what would your higher self choose? you are expanding, you are moving forward. And when you ask this question, many times you will hear an answer which maybe doesn't make a logical sense. And oftentimes it may even feel like outside of the comfort zone. It can feel scary. And that's okay. Because your higher self, or the person you want to become in your wildest, highest dreams, they know where you are headed. They know how to orchestrate all the details of your life. And of course, from the current self and the mind, we cannot see it. And that's the whole point. Because we cannot see where those choices might lead, we keep choosing the same things, and then we start circling the same energy in our lives. But when we look at that choice as our highest self, then what happens is that we are able to tap into new solutions, new ideas, which we didn't realize before. Perhaps you are choosing a new job, and there is a job offer which sounds good. It sounds like a logical thing to do. It sounds like, yes, it makes sense for me to accept this job and, go back into that whole job thing. But maybe there is an alternative timeline. And when you ask your higher self what your higher self would do, you really feel in your heart that the answer is that it's good to take some time off and to go travel. And when you travel, you don't know what's going to happen. You cannot predict the things that come through that higher wisdom, because you are tapping into that quantum energy. Whereas when we stay in that linear energy, we can predict, because it's very logical. One thing leads to another. But when we start playing with that quantum time, anything can truly happen. And so let's say in this example, if you go and travel, you meet new people, you grow in a spiritual sense, and maybe when you return home, you realize you want to change your career altogether. And it's not always so straightforward what is the best choice. I actually don't think there are so many choices which would be very clearly right or wrong. It's more so what serves your soul at that moment, what is the most beneficial, most expensive for you. And that's also why it's good to learn to find those answers from within ourselves, because this way we can truly connect to our higher self and to start channeling our own wisdom. And those answers that you receive, those decisions that you make, they don't have to make sense to other people. This way you are practicing the authority of your soul. You are learning to stand in your power and to claim what's true for yourself first, and then claim it in front of other people, without having other people swaying you around with their opinions and energy. And so when you are making a decision, always think what the person of your wildest dreams, like the highest version of yourself, would choose in that situation. You can use this tool also on a daily basis. Every morning when you wake up, think about the person you want to become. What that person would choose, how would they spend their days. And now this person you want to become, it can be either super specific, or it can be just that energy. You can just sense the energy of the person you want to become, which I actually think is more beneficial, because then there's less limitation when we just operate at a level of the energy. And so you can use it on a daily basis, or you can make it with bigger decisions. But ultimately, every decision is a choice of whom we are becoming. Are we moving forward? Are we staying, or are we going backward? That's it. And so when we make the decision, we are actually communicating to our higher self, I'm wise enough that I am able to move forward in time. I am wise enough that I can see that what was holding me in the past energy, I no longer need, and I'm able to let it go. So when choosing things, when making decisions, think as the person you want to become. And now I just remembered, I also made a masterclass on this topic of making quantum shifts. And I'm going more in depth in this masterclass. I'll link it down below for you if you are interested. But still, just start playing with this tool. It will change your life. Imagine that every day you would think in this way. With every decision you would think in this way. Where can you be a year from now, or even like a week from now? Honestly, it works very quickly. You are collapsing that time. And so I hope you have enjoyed this video, and please let me know down in the comments below if you are able to feel the energy of the person you want to become. Remember, it doesn't have to be super specific. You just have to be able to connect to it energetically. And if you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe, and I see you in my next one.